Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, Raid's best event is back. We've got the free gear removal going on actually for quite a long time here. From today right the way through to Wednesday, where you get 100% removed silver cost. Now, this is brilliant, by the way. This is absolutely what the game needs for people to be able to just kind of like freely improve their builds, freely improve their kind of champion designs. It becomes a bit of a moot point if others are playing different games. We don't have a sponsor in this video where we talk about a different game where this is just what happens. Same with Dragonair. I've been playing a bunch of new games at the minute, and yeah, they do this anyway. But in terms of the raid economy, to just change, it would be weird or hard to do because they'd have to change silver amounts that came in and all this sort of stuff. It's actually a bit harder than just, oh, I'll turn this on forever. But still, we should make take full advantage of this event. So hellhades.com or the HH Gaming crew, as ever, are going to help you out with free premium optimizer for the length of this event. So I'd like to thank Watcher of Realms for sponsoring this video. I do have a second channel where I do regular uploads on Watcher of Realms. I'll pin that down below and you can get involved, as well as a link to download the game if you want to get involved and play this game. We've got some awesome events that are currently going on for Thanksgiving, so come and take a look at these. Basically, they're doing stuff around summonings. They've got some new heroes, new lords coming out in the game, and they're doing some exclusive Black Friday deals as well. They kind of take us through us here in-game with these different events. So you've got the Thanksgiving event where you can earn yourself some summons, some legendary tomes, and kind of get involved in that. You've got multiple events around summoning. So we've got these new lords coming in. I'll show you these in a second. And ancient summoning events as well. As well as this like surprise summoning, which is like you pull one, you get one free type of event, which is cool. Ancient summoning event, which is for lords. And then this is probably the best summoning event they do in the game. You're guaranteed a legendary hero with this bundle. And it'll be one of either a legendary from the North Throne or from Star Piercers. So legendaries like Hex in the mix, Nocturne in the mix, as well as others which are pretty top tier. Basically, you're guaranteed the legendary, and you get a whole bunch of stuff to level them up as well. I've seen this once in the game so far, and it's very, very cool. Lastly, they've got this kind of like Black Friday sale going on. We're talking like 400 to 550% off. So any spenders are actually getting some crazy deals popping up over this weekend. If you do want to see firsthand what this game feels like, this Sunday I'm actually going to be streaming on Twitch. I'm going to be streaming at Hell Hades TV, and we're going to be basically trying to push my account on in things like Void Rift, and I'm going to be doing some of my own summons, so you can kind of get a feel for what the game plays like. And yeah, obviously if you love it, you can download from that as well. As I said, there's 4 new legendary heroes that are dropping this weekend. Just to give you a feel for 2 of them, this is Constance. Kind of like a paladin feel to this hero. Actually a tank, but a tank that will heal your other allies as well, which is very cool. Really cool aesthetic here. Going to be doing work in terms of buffing your team. She's actually got a buff, which is probably the strongest buff in the game in Inspiration. So she's going to be boosting the attack of other heroes in her range, as well as healing them, as well as tanking up waves of enemies. So Constance is going to be a brilliant, brilliant hero. And then we've got Alora here, who is a marksman, basically great anti-air damage dealer. She's got invisibility, so when you put her down, mobs will be walking straight past her as she is taking them out. She's got piercing in her mechanics as well. She's just going to be a low-cost, high-damage unit to put down. So again, 2 great new legendary heroes coming to Watcher of Realms. Look, it's a brilliant game. That's why I've got my own channel on this as well. You can download it on the link down below. And I would just advise you to come and get involved. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how the optimizer works in this video. I guess we are on a 2 times ancient jobby at the minute. I'm just seeing, this is the first time I've seen some of these deals. Actually, for those who are interested, we do have a pack offer, this calculator, or just kind of an idea of our packs decent on the website. So if you hover over Raid Shadow Legends, you get down to the pack offer thing. So you could throw in something like this pack. So $59.99 for I buy in pounds. G, 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 G. So 59.99. And you could throw in the 56 ancients. You could throw in the little bit of silver that we've got here. I actually don't really use it myself, honestly, but I normally just eyeball an offer, but still throw it in. And basically what this is saying is this is a bad deal. Yeah. If for example, the price was, I don't know, 40, for example, and you'll see the deal flip. So kind of gives you an idea of how good these Black Friday deals are. When you look at the entire deal, it might be that it balances out to be good because you do get some of the kind of like cheaper points on these green tabs. But so far, I've not seen anything that I've not seen anything that I would buy anyway. So far from the Black Friday offers, there's not been anything too crazy, but they do tend to drop good deals. They do tend to if you are a spender. So I guess it's still a watch this space. We do have right now the 2 times popping up on ancients, and we do have 2 times voids and sacreds over the next couple of days as well. So I guess maybe I'm going to pull my ancients and then I'll show you how this optimizer works. Okay, we're going to do 4 temples just to get in the mood for Black Friday weekend. Obviously, gives me some of these fate points as well. As I said in my video yesterday, though, like, only pull if you were going to pull. Don't worry too much about the card flipping unless you were going to pull anyway. Hexia, not bad. Epic. Just feel like single target nuking. Not a great epic either, honestly. Please, Raid, fix this. Fix the point scoring up front. Gold Lanicus. Okay, so it's a dupe for me, but not a bad dupe, actually. Lanicus has got the ally attack with 3 of your team, but she's also doing turn meter feel. She's doing buffage as well. One of the better ally attackers in the game. Definitely a cool one to actually for me to dupe up. We've got here a Taurus. Madman. Who's mad about Madman? Is that the guy that was nerfed? Pretty sure that was the guy that was nerfed, right? Nerfing only the rares. Terrible job, Raid. Wow, they've all gone. I got a gold. I got a gold, so I can't really complain in 40-odd shards. Okay. Right, let's get on to what this optimizer can do and why. I actually did this stat the other day. 400,000 different users have used the optimizer. Wow. We've had 15 million optimizations done in the last 12 months, which is pretty nuts as well. So let me show you what's going on. If you are a PC user, let's just go back to homepage. If you are a PC user, you go to the Raid Optimizer page. You do need to be a member, but a free member. Like a free member will get you any optimizer stuff. Normally, the premium is all done through uncommon members, which is like $5 a month. But we're turning all of the premium stuff on for this event. So if you go to the Optimizer page, you can download this extractor here. I've done videos on this before. I'm not going to go into the full kind of like end-to-end how to download an extractor. But once you've got this tool on your PC, you then hit upload to website whilst Raid is running in Plarium Play. And what it will do is it will basically take a snapshot of your account. If you're doing this on mobile, or if you're doing it on mobile, if you're doing it on like a tablet or anything, then you can use the same optimizer. And actually 25% of our users now uses remotely, is what we would call it. So you can basically still use as servers and use a remote optimizer. You don't need to download anything. There's no app. It's a web-based tool. And basically what you'll be doing is doing what we call a remote optimization. So just reset here. So basically when you go into champions and try to do an optimize, you'll have this will be naturally ticked. Use remote optimization if you're doing it on a tablet or a mobile, whatever. I do have a full guide on how to use mobile optimization. So I guess I'll link that video down below because it's a little bit more in depth to get into the actual, it's not in depth, it just takes you a couple of extra steps to get into the actual optimizer. But if you're doing it on PC, this is what it will look like. Kind of have your Your options are down the left-hand side here, which you can shrink back or make grow. You have your champion that you're trying to optimize, and you can say, right, do I want to do a balance build? Which is really if you're looking for particular stats like accuracy or speed. You do a damage build if you want a nuke, and you do survival build or EHP build if you want to be a tank. That's pretty much the long and short of it. Again, I've done individual videos on each of these modes, okay? So you go in here, you basically go in and you could kind of flip down page by page what needs to be done. This will be the natural process on mobile. You can set things like your minimum artifact level depending on how much gear you've got rolled up. I suggest 8 is a good level, and I suggest if you're trying to use this effectively, if you're like a mid-game player, make sure you've got a bunch of stuff rolled up to level 8 so the optimizer's got some gear to look at. It shows the masteries you've already got. You can play around with this and say, you know what, I'm going to change my masteries if you want to. You can also do things like max the artifacts. So assuming that the artifacts is going to be maxed on its primary stats. And so if you've got a speed boot that's level 8, for example, it will assume that you're going to level it to level 16 for the sake of the optimization. And you can say max the ascension if you want to. That's naturally default off. But for me, I would keep it on because I can do that. If you can't do that, make sure it's off. Yeah, so if you've got a speed roll in ascension, but it's not maxed out, it will do that for you. You've got options here around whether you would include equipped artifacts. So do you want to take stuff off other people? You can lock a champion like that. And if you lock a champion, then it won't look for gear off of that person in this tab. But there are options around locking where it's like, actually, I want to include artifacts on my locked champions. There is a like manage account bit here where you can just do some settings. So optimizer settings, you can enable advanced locking like here. You can also set your game progression. So I should be on end game. Enabling advanced locking basically means that you can have different levels of lock. So this Elder Scarred here, I could say, actually, I want him to be a lock 5. For me, that might be my arena champions. Yeah, your lock 4 might be your clan boss champions. And then you know different tiers of people that you're happy to steal stuff from. Yeah. Anyway, you go into your optimize, you grab whatever you want to do. So if I was doing a damage build, I would then go into this page and choose what I'm going to do. So I'm going to exclude lock champions with priority 5 and 3, for example. Come down again, and it's like, okay, what am I fighting? You don't have to do this, but it gets you a better result if you do. So this is kind of like set as an arena type of setup, and I might be like, well, you know what? I'm going to be like 3,400 defense, or I can hand pick something. So if I say, actually, I'm fighting the clan boss on Ultra Nightmare, it knows the stats of the enemy, yeah, because it pulls it through from the game. We then go into the stats. Now, if I'm doing any sort of damage build, survival build, anything like that, all I would write in here is the speed I want my champion to run. Everything else, the optimizer will just do better than I can do. There's no point writing min, max, min, max, min, max. The optimizer does all that for you. The optimizer knows if some gear sets are more effective than others. For like a damage build, it knows that savage gear ignores defense, for example. So it will find your best damage build based on your gear. Okay, you don't need to tell it any more than that. If you do specifically want to tell it a set, you can do that here. That's mostly used, honestly, if you want lifesteal gear, if you want something like, I don't know, a specific gear set like reflex. Definitely don't just pick savage if you're doing a damage build, because it knows savage is already a damage roll, okay? And it will still pick you your best item. You can also tell it if you want to include certain artifact sets. So it might be like actually, I want some stone skin artifacts if you've got them. You might want to have a quick look between your game and the optimizer just to kind of have a look. Or is there any point me putting that? So I've got like 1 stone skin here, 2. So I could actually get 2 stone skin items here, then go 3, 4 for this dude, and then still have savage. So I could have 4-piece stone skin on Elder Scarred while still doing savage. But I'm kind of then telling it basically I have to use this ring, which is a shit ring for Elder Scarred, and I have to use this amulet, which is also terrible for Elder Scarred if I'm doing a damage build. Okay, but it might be that's what you'd prefer to do. So some of these things you kind of need to interact with the game and your optimizer to get the best results. So you choose what you want here. Glyphing is actually huge. So you can literally just say, what glyphs have I got? Well, I've got a bunch of level 3 speed glyphs, for example. I've got a bunch of attack percent glyphs that can get me to 4%. And I've got a bunch of accuracy that I can plus 10. Yeah, and then hit the optimize and start. If you're doing a remote optimization on iPad or whatever, it will take a few seconds to connect to our server, do the work, and then send you back your build. But you'll still get something similar to this. And basically what it's doing here is, as a normal view, it would view like this. And if you prefer it in like a list view, just tick it in. You can show where your improvements are based on your current build. But yeah, basically it'll run through and it'll be like, right, okay, let me see all of the builds, run through. And then once it's done, you just basically hit view to see where the gear is. Now, it won't equip the gear for you. If you want to see how much extra damage you do on premium mode, if you click skills, it'd be like, right, this is the damage I currently do. And this is the gain that I'm going to get from this change of build. 58% more damage by stealing this stuff off of other champions. And basically what you then do is you go in game and you find these pieces and you equip them on your champion, the one that you're trying to do. So I'm going to show you two other things. So I've got, as I said, I've got detailed videos on individual champion builds and how to do them. I'll link some of those down below as well. But Team Optimiser is particularly amazing to find teams that will be just be cool for you to build. Basically what it does, it looks at your champions and says, right, what teams have other people run whilst they've had the optimizer open? So if I wanted to improve my, I don't know, maybe I'll look at Hydra. If I wanted to improve my Hydra team, where are you, Hydra? You look at what rotation it is, so you can go in game if you don't know what it is right now and be like, right, what rotation are we on? So we're currently on rotation 2 of Hydra. See it here on this main page? So we go on to rotation 2. And I want to kick into a nightmare team. And if I hit find a team, what it's going to do is it's going to look at my champions. It's going to look at what damage other people have achieved with that team. It's a real thing. It's happened. And it tells you how long their run took, how much damage they did. You can actually say, I don't want to see any manual teams. Yeah. You could also say, I only want to see champions that are already 6-starred and ascended. You could do a whole bunch of stuff here. You could say exclude champions that I've already done a run with in Hydra this week if you're trying to build like a second team. Yeah, so you can do all of these filters and then apply. Okay, so now that I've said I only want to see basically auto teams, this is now the best team that would kick back for me based on what other people have done. You can see how often people have run it. And then you go into view team. And as a premium user, which we're turning on right now, you will get all of this extra information about what gear sets they were wearing, all of their stats, what masteries they had, and the way they, how many books they had. So it's literally like everything you need in one place. Yeah, so you can then add that to the optimizer. And what's cool is you can then, if you're like, oh, hold on a minute, what was the masteries? You click on save team, takes you back there. Click on back, takes you back to your optimization. And in this page here, you're basically just going through hero by hero, champion by champion, doing your optimization on this page. So you're like, right, okay, where's my stats I want, etc. And you kind of go through, similar to what I just showed you actually with the individual champion optimization, but now you're doing it for a team. And you might be like, I don't want to change my Duchess build, my First Acrisia, my Tuhanarak, but I do want to change these other ones. So you literally just go in and untick those and just go in and do the ones that you want to do. So loads that you can do with this area of the optimizer. Honestly, it's absolutely nuts for account progression if you're struggling with content. So this is cool. The other thing which I want to call out is the artifact page, which has had a few improvements, honestly, since I've done any videos on it. It's very, very cool, the work that Saf and the team have done. I do want to call out, like, we turn on this free premium. The reason why we have a paid premium is because we do pay our development team, website team. Like, we've got 17 people that earn money on a monthly basis from work on hellhades.com, yeah, at HH Gaming. So, you know, this is, and honestly, the uncommon members do pay for a big chunk of their income, and you know, the website continuing to grow and all that stuff. So there is a reason that we have it, but we also want to be as accessible to people as possible. So I just want to just kind of call out what a great job that team do. So what we can do here on this artifact page is actually some very cool stuff. So we can just say, all right, show me my best stat, for example. I could be like, right, order by crit rate, then order by, I don't know, crit damage. Yeah, so what it will do is it'd be like, okay, well, high crit rate first, and then it's done a look for crit damage. I've got it on speed set, so let me just reset that a sec. Yeah, so order by, maybe I'll do it the other way. Order by crit damage and then by crit rate. So pretty much what that's going to do is it's going to throw all my best gloves to the top, yeah? And it's going to be like, right, where are my best gloves with crit rate rolls, for example? Another thing which we can do on here is it will show you a gear rating. See this? I don't know why I still got this piece on my account. So it will show you a gear rating, and it will also show you a gear potential rating. So the white name is the rating as it is today. And then this kind of like orangey name is the rating that it would be if it rolled really well. Okay. So you can see this piece that still exists on my account that obviously is someone I don't use. It's just weak. It's just a poor piece. Now, I'm not going to say this is like perfect. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it can give you a good steer on crap gear. Okay, it can give you a good steer. So I could just be like, show me all of my stuff which has been rated in the bin. Yeah, and I can then go into game and decide whether I do or do not want to sell it. Now, some things you've just got to make your own call on. Like these gloves here, attack percent with a triple crit rate roll, I would say that rating is wrong. But because attack percent is so rarely used, only on bomb champions, it's probably looking at this gear set, because it rates it by gear set. This gear set is saying, well, you wouldn't really want high attack in accuracy gear. The fact is, a bomb champion would probably love these gloves. So this rating is wrong. My personal brain has to make the distinction between the algorithm that this tool kicks out and what's right. But most of this stuff is just worthy of the bin, or it needs to be rolled to decide whether it's worthy of the bin or not. So basically, it's just a tool to help you. Another cool thing, though, which this does, so I could say, show me substat rolls. Here we are. So show me anything that's got a triple roll. Let's say I want to use some chaos ore. I could say, right, show me triple rolls, and then also show me the roll score. And what this is going to do is going to say the roll quality on this piece is 44%. What that means is every time you roll a piece of gear, you've got a chance of a high roll or a low roll. Okay, every single time you roll it, because you could get, you could get +6 speed or +5 speed, for example. So this is saying for every roll that came out, it's almost like a 50-50 good and bad. Whereas it's saying on this piece, it's actually rolled about as good as it could have rolled. It's a crap piece anyway, but it actually rolled about as well as it could have done. So you can make decisions based on, especially if you're trying to like really weed out gear which you think is okay, but it's actually bad. But basically, I could just go through very quickly and be like, okay, well, I thought this triple speed roll here was good, but it rolled actually really bad. So if I'm being brutal in a gear cleanse, I could just remove or delete out some of those bad rolls. Yeah, so I can just remove stuff which is not great. So if I was to look at, for example, my Savage gear, where I've got a lot of it, I could literally be looking through and saying, okay, well, pieces of gear like this one, which I felt were worth keeping at the time, actually, although I got a triple crit damage roll, every time it's rolled poorly. Yeah, so actually, 26% roll quality, even though it was a legendary piece and it had crit damage on it, I should sell that piece on my account. Probably not for you guys, but on my account, I should sell that piece. Another cool thing, just last point on this. If I am not, like I've set my account up as end game. Remember I did that earlier? End game. If I'm not end game, and you shouldn't, most people are not, let's say you're a mid game player, I could go back into my artifacts and the pieces will show a higher quality. Yeah, because for a mid game player, a lot of these pieces are godlike. Whereas for my level of account, those pieces may be strong or legendary. So that's really important to set when you're doing this type of checking of your gear and that type of stuff. So look, that's a real quick kind of showcase of some of the things the Optimiser can do. It can do a million other things. It's a really great tool. And yeah, as I say, we're turning it on for free. If you want to get involved, do so. Check out some of the other videos down below if you want to understand more things that it can do, because I've done a whole bunch of videos on this now. And yeah, enjoy your day. Anyway, I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you all soon.